Good morning, afternoon, and evening, Four Winds. I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. And how about this weather? Never mind. I wanted to do a couple of quick reminders right off the top. First up, Toys for Tots. You still have time to donate a toy if you'd like. We are collecting toys in New Buffalo until December 11th and in South Bend, Hartford, and Dowagiac until December 9th. There are collection boxes at all properties if you would like to donate a present to an area child. Toys need to be new, unwrapped, and placed in one of the collection boxes. There is still an option to donate funds, but this year we are going paperless. You can donate by going to www.surveymonkey.com/r/FWC Toys for Tots, or you can scan the QR code that can be found on the flyer. If you have questions, you can reach out to employee events at fourwindscasino.com. We told you last week about changes that have been made regarding the designated employee smoking areas. I have been asked to once again stress how important it is to practice social distancing while outside around others. Please respect what is being asked and practice social distancing in the newly designated areas for the safety of you and all of our employees. And the last of our reminders is about the virtual roundtables with Frank and Dan. If you would like to have a virtual meeting with Frank and Dan where you can give your thoughts, voice concerns, or give ideas, please email hrdept@fourwindscasino.com and in the subject line put Virtual Roundtable. We will compile a list of interested attendees and send out invitations in the order that we receive the correspondence. Payroll has requested that employees check the address that is listed on their pay statements to make sure it's up to date. They will be sending out W-2s to the address that is listed. This is a change from previous years when you were able to pick up a paper copy by stopping in at payroll. If your statement does not have the correct address, you can go to portal.adp.com to change it or submit a data change form. The deadline for changes is December 31st, 2020. If you have any questions, please email them at payroll@fourwindscasino.com. I was told there was a dealer school starting up soon, so I checked with Julie Thompson, our talent acquisitions manager, to get all the details.
Yes, Michael. Table Games is offering a dealer school that is scheduled to start on January 16th, 2021 and end on February 20th, 2021. Classes will be held at 2 convenient times on Saturdays and Sundays, and it will be a paid training. In order to attend dealer school, candidates will need to be able to obtain a Level 2 gaming license. Dealer trainees will be paid $12 per hour for their dealer school training. Current employees that apply and are selected for dealer school will be paid at a secondary rate of $12 per hour and $18 per hour for any overtime accrued due to this training. If you are interested in becoming a dealer, apply online through the internal transfer link on the intranet at intranet.fourwindscasino.com. Spread the word to family and friends and tell them to apply through Four Winds Casino's career website at www.fourwindscasino.com/employment. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie, for all that great information. Let's talk about some positive Four Winds moments, shall we? We'll start off with these Dowagiac do-gooders. This Dowagiac crew completed their 2020 Adopt a Highway project on Tuesday, November 17th. They picked up a total of 9 large bags of trash from M51, north and south of the casino entrance. They found all kinds of items, some pretty typical, such as plastic cups, pop cans, and paper. They also found some not so typical items like planks of laminate wood flooring, a large styrofoam mat, and new to the scene as of 2020, yep, you guessed it, masks. Thank you to all those that took part in helping with this project. You not only helped to make the streets look nicer, but you made Four Winds look better. Here in New Buffalo, we had a great group putting together the food boxes that were being donated to those in need during the week of Thanksgiving. We wanted to give a shout out to all the employees that participated in putting together the 1,000 boxes for distribution. Thank you to all the employees that participated and took the time to help with such a good cause. You guys are rock stars. And last month we told you about the money that was raised at the Four Winds Invitational that was held back in September, but we wanted to show you a picture of the check presentation. These awesome nurses happily accepted the big check for Beacons Children's Hospital. The $62,220 will help fund the purchase of Centrella smart beds that will aid in the recovery of their young patients. The Pokagon Band has donated over $730,000 to Beacon Health System over the last 9 years. What an amazing thing to be part of. This week I spoke to Steve Ryder, Vice President of Security, about the temperature self-check kiosks.
Hello, Four Winds. I'm Steve Ryder. I'm your Vice President of Security. I'm here today to offer a helpful reminder that COVID is still alive and well, and in our efforts to stop the spread so that we can return to somewhat of a normal existence, we've put security measures in place and screening stations throughout the Four Winds casinos. For employees, this is the gate from the garage into the back alley into the business. And as you can see, we have a temperature checkpoint right there. The idea is that every single employee coming to work for the first time each day goes through one of these screening processes. First off, if you're sick or you're having any symptoms or signs of the COVID, do not report to work. Call your manager. That's first thing, self-screening. Secondly, if you do not have any symptoms and you arrive to work, it's imperative that you go through one of these temperature checkpoints. It's a very simple process. You just walk up into the iPad, you put your face in it until that red dot in the center hits you right here in the forehead, and wait for it to read your temperature and give you the green light that you're within normal parameters. It's very important that everybody does this. What we've seen with very few employees, most are doing a really great job at helping us stop the spread, but some we find are parking in the garage and then coming down the guest elevators through the alley sliding door and into the building, bypassing the temperature checkpoints. Please do not do this. You may feel like you're fine, you know you don't have any symptoms, but it's important to go through the temperature checkpoints. We have security watching cameras to try and help people that bypass it, come back and go through, but we would like for you to do that all on your own. So again, the importance of this is very significant. The more healthy that we can keep our employees and guests, the more opportunity we have to establish what we recognize as normal operations. So thank you very much, and we appreciate your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, for that information.
Bonjour, Four Winds. For our final week of Native American Heritage Month, we're going to be covering some important historical figures in Indian country. Jim Thorpe was an American athlete, Olympic gold medalist, and a member of the Sac and Fox Nation. He was the first Native American to win a gold medal for the United States in 1912 in the pentathlon and decathlon. He was also a professional football, baseball, and basketball athlete. In 1912 Stockholm Olympics, he competed in the pentathlon, which consisted of 5 events in a day. He placed first in 4 events and fourth in javelin, an event which he had not competed in before 1912. A week later, during his 3-day decathlon, he set a record in the 100-meter dash of 11.2 seconds, a record not broken until the 1948 Olympics. On the second day, before his next race, Thorpe's shoes were stolen. They found 2 mismatched shoes, one of which was too big and he had to wear an extra sock for the high jump and 110-meter hurdles. He won both events. On the final day, he placed 3rd and 4th in pole vault and javelin, 2 events he was not experienced in at all. The very last event was the 1,500-meter race. Jim ran in his mismatched shoes with a time of 4 minutes and 40.1 seconds, a record that stood until 1972 by only a second. Next are the Navajo Code Talkers. What are Code Talkers? They were individuals recruited by the military during wartime to encrypt messages using a language not known by enemy forces. In 1942, when World War II was raging overseas, Japanese and German forces were tapping into U.S. military communication lines. They needed a way to communicate without enemy forces gaining intel. The first code talkers were in World War I, and they used the Choctaw language. 19 soldiers passed along messages using their native languages. By the time the Second World War came, many Japanese scholars had already studied Native American languages. They were looking for alternatives when the Navajo language was suggested. At the time, the Navajo language was an unwritten language and could only be interpreted by native speakers. The first Navajo recruits arrived at Camp Pendleton in California for training, where they developed code for military terms to be used. Roughly 400 Navajos participated in the program, and their efforts were crucial in many battles like Iwo Jima, Guadalcanal, Tarawa, and Peleliu. The program remained classified until 1968. President Ronald Reagan named August 14th as Navajo Code Talkers Day in 1982. The Navajo Code Talkers were awarded the Congressional Gold Medals in 2001. As we wrap up Native American Heritage Month, I want to say Chi Miigwech for joining us, Four Winds. Back to you, Michael.
I received an email from an employee last week with a suggestion that I thought was timely and probably a good idea to pass along. If you drive down the Green Mile to and from work, please try to take it a bit slower as we are in deer season and there seems to be a lot more deer running around right now. I think that's a smart idea anyway since we are approaching winter weather. Yes, I said it.
Winter is coming.
So get in the habit of giving yourself a few extra minutes to get to work each day so you don't need to drive like Mario Andretti down the winding road. Thank you, Tammy, for your suggestion. We are in the holiday season now, folks, and I understand that it might seem a little different than in years past for a lot of different reasons. Just try to take some time to enjoy what you can and think about the remarkable things to come. The future has endless possibilities. Have a great weekend, Four Winds. Thank you for watching.